Good morning, everyone. This is the second video of the fifth chapter of history, The Age of the Vedas from Integrated Social Science, Ratnasagar, Class 6. Let us see the contents which we have discussed earlier in the very first video. The contents which we have earlier discussed were the introduction to the Vedas, in which we understood when they were written, when they were composed, what was there in the Vedas, the four Vedas as well as the oldest one, and we also discussed about the archaeological sources or archaeological remains that gives us the evidence of this particular period. Today we'll be moving on to the daily life and occupation of the people that will actually practice during the Vedic age, as well as we'll move to Dasas, the topic, a group of people. Then we'll head towards Inamgaon, a Chalcolithic settlement in Maharashtra, and what are the archaeological finds which have been excavated from there by the archaeologists, and how did this particular Chalcolithic settlement come to an end, to its decline. We will also be discussing about the megaliths. When it comes to the social life of the people, that time the people were divided into numerous tribes, and each tribe was headed by a king. The tribes during Vedic age was known as Janas, and the king of the particular tribe, there were kings of each tribe. They were known as Rajan, and they were selected for their bravery. The kings were not like the kings of later times, like Mahajanpadas and Janpadas and later Gupta period or whatever period was there. The upcoming kings, the later kings. They were not like the later kings. They did not have huge palaces, a large army to take control over a large area. Those kings were having control over a limited area, to a small area. As well as there were two samitis, two assemblies as well, and those two assemblies were the Sabha and the Samiti. The Sabha was an assembly of the elders and the important people, whereas Samiti was the general assembly. It was probably a gathering of members of each family of the Jana. This was a gathering of each members of every family of the Jana. Moving on to the next point, as you can see that there were very important animals as well, which people were domesticating. So the important animals were cattle and horses. We know this from the Rig Veda, because Rig Veda contains many hymns asking gods to bless people with cattle and horses. There are many prayers in the Rig Veda for cattle, children, especially sons, and horses. Horses were yoked to chariots that were used in battles, which were fought to capture cattle. Battles, that time battles, kings used to indulge themselves in battles. And the purpose of fighting for that battle was actually to capture the cattle as well as for land, which was very important for pasture and for growing crops. And some battles were fought for water as well and to capture people as well. When it comes to animals, every single household, each household had a number of cows. And dairy products such as butter and ghee was popular. Sura, as you can see here, Sura was a type of liquor which was drunk on common festive occasions. Soma, a popular drink. This was a popular drink prepared from milk and the juice of a rare plant that grew on the mountains. People drank it during special religious ceremonies. Sura was drunk on common festive occasions, whereas Soma, this liquid was drunk, this popular drink was drunk during special religious ceremonies. Do you know why were the cows considered important during the Vedic age? Because the people of Vedic age considered cows as a symbol of wealth. Okay, cows were considered as a symbol of wealth. And not only cows, horses were also very important, okay, for the people, because they were yoked to chariots that were used in battle. Most battles were fought for cattle, horses, and land. People performed sacrifices and made offerings to different gods also. Okay, sacrifices were held during Vedic period, and the priests who performed these rituals and sacrifices were given cows, horses, gold, and cloth as gifts. Okay, the priests who performed the rituals and sacrifices were given cows, horses, gold, and cloth as gifts. And the kings performed sacrifices in which the common people also participated. Okay, and with the course of time, rituals became so important that every important event was preceded by an elaborate ritual. Okay, none of the events were preceded without any rituals. Okay, so the rituals were became very important during the Vedic age. When it comes to occupation, agriculture and cattle rearing were the main occupations. Other common occupations were chariot making, pottery making, weaving, jewelry making. Other than that, metal work, carpentry, tanning, and fishing. And many people were priests. Okay, this was also an occupation. Many people were priests, because besides conducting religious ceremonies, these priests also acted as teachers and doctors. They passed on the knowledge of the Vedas to the children. They also had considerable knowledge about the medicinal herbs and plants. Whenever someone fell ill, the priest acted as a doctor. And ornaments were worn both by men and women of the Vedic age. Okay. Nowadays, you will see that only women will be wearing the ornaments. Few men will be. You'll see few men wearing ornaments such as ear studs and all. But then, during Vedic age, both men and women wore ornaments. Okay. Moving on to the next slide. And I have skipped one thing in the previous module, that the Gayatri mantra, okay, which I think you all know, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Gayatri mantra. This is a verse from the Rig Veda. As we have already read that there were 10 mandalas. Okay, the Rig Veda was divided into 10 mandalas. So Gayatri mantra, the third mandala of the Rig Veda, contained this Gayatri mantra, and this famous Gayatri mantra was composed by Vishwamitra. This is not given in the book, but then also I'll be sharing that the Gayatri mantra was composed by Vishwamitra, and it was addressed to the solar deity Savitri. Okay, the Gayatri mantra of the third mandala of the Rig Veda was addressed to the solar deity Savitri. So, who were the dasas or the dasyus? Sometimes the people who composed the hymns described themselves as Aryans. okay, and called their opponents dasas or dasyus. Okay, these were people who did not perform sacrifices. Okay, who were the dasas? Dasas were the people who did not perform sacrifices and probably spoke different languages. Later, the term dasa and the feminine term dasi came to mean slave. Okay, most of the dasas were perhaps enslaved, so the term das later came to mean slave. And slaves were women and men who were often captured in war. Okay, the people who were captured in war were given the title, were named as slaves, means dasa or dasi. They were treated as the property of their owners. Okay, who could make them do whatever work they wanted. These dasas and dasyus, dasas or dasyus as well as dasis, were treated as the property of their owners who could make them to do whatever work they wanted. Who were the dasas? Dasas were actually the group of people who were later enslaved. Okay. So during the time when the Vedas were being composed, there were important developments going on in the other parts of India. That is how, and that is why we are in the next slide, we are going to read about a site called Inamgaon. Okay, let us move on to the other slide and let us see what developments were going on in this part of India. So Inamgaon is one of the largest Chalcolithic settlements in India. Now, what is Chalcolithic? What Chalcolithic means? Chalcolithic basically means Chalcolithic settlements means copper age settlements. Okay, copper stone age settlements. This was that period when both stone and copper were used, and that is why this period is called as the Chalcolithic age, and that is why Inamgaon, which is in Maharashtra, okay, is one of the largest Chalcolithic settlements in India. This settlement lasted for over 900 years. Archaeologists later find some evidences, some remains from this particular site. As you can see in the very first point, it's written 134 mud houses have been excavated, which were rectangular in shape with one or two rooms. Okay, the mud houses have been excavated having one or two rooms, and the shape of those mud houses were rectangular. Oval shaped peats which have been used to cook food were also have been found. A lot of pottery, mostly red in color, and stone tools also have been found from this particular place. Tools and ornaments of copper, beads made of terracotta, semi-precious stones, and ivory have also been found. Terracotta figures have been found from this particular site. Chalcolithic basically means copper. Okay, Chalcolithic stone age was a period when stone and copper were both used, and Inamgaon in Maharashtra is one of the Chalcolithic settlements. Let me show you the state where it is and its location on a map, through a map. As you can see here in the map, Inamgaon, here is the Inamgaon. Okay, this is the map. As you can see, this is Maharashtra. As we have already seen that Inamgaon is in Maharashtra. It is one of the Chalcolithic sites, okay, which have been excavated from Maharashtra. Moving on to this period, that is the Chalcolithic period. Okay, this lasted for over 900 years, and many archaeological finds have been excavated. The remains have been excavated by archaeologists from here. 134 mud houses have been excavated, which were rectangular in shape with one or two rooms. They have also excavated one more house, however, has 5 rooms, and they have considered it to be the house of a ruling chief, which was, and next to this house was a granary as well. We have already studied about granary in the first cities, what actually it is. And oval shaped pits have been found inside most of the houses, which may have been used to cook food. And similar pits have also been found outside of some houses, which suggest that people may have done some of their cooking outdoors as well. Okay. They have also found, the archaeologists have also found a lot of pottery and stone tools at Inamgaon, and most of the pots were red in color. Some have black designs on them. Some tools may have been used, stone tools which have been found. They may have been used to chop trees, pound meat, or skin animals. And they have also found tools and ornaments of copper, beads made of terracotta, semi-precious stones, and ivory have also been found here. Terracotta figures, basically animal figures have been found here, and basically the figure of bulls. Okay, many figures of the bulls have been found here. Many figures of the bull have been found here, and people probably worshipped the bull. And other than bull, they also worshipped a female goddess. Why? How we come to know that they also worshipped a female goddess, because in one of the burial sites, archaeologists have found the bull, the clay bull, as well as a female figure also. Okay. They have also found seeds and thousands of animal bones among the other important findings, which gives us an idea that what kind of food people used to eat, or what kind of crops people used to grow during the Vedic age. These seeds have given the evidences that crops such as wheat, barley, lentils, peas, gram, and beans were grown, and meat, fish, and dairy products were also part of their daily diet. And these evidences, which have been found, is because of the seeds and the thousands of animals, okay, or thousands of animal bones which have been found in the burials. Okay. How this Chalcolithic settlement came to its decline? Let us see the points or reasons behind its decline. So in the last phase of this settlement, people of Inamgaon seem to have been facing problems. There was a decline in farming. And why there was the decline in farming? Due to the shortage of rainfall or decrease in the fertility of soil. They used to rely more on hunting and gathering food rather than growing crops. And there was also a change in the way they constructed their homes, their houses. As we have already read, that the excavations have given the evidences that there were rectangular houses, but later people started making circular huts, small circular huts, which have been found because due to excavations. And the following reasons somehow shows why this particular settlement came to its end, because of the decline in farming as well as the reliability on hunting and gathering of food. The way they constructed houses were not the way they were constructed earlier. So these were the reasons because of the behind the decline of this particular settlements. In this picture, the picture which I am showing you is a megalith burial. Okay, what megalith is basically. So the word megalith literally means big stones. At many places in Deccan, South India, the northeastern states and the northwestern states, especially Kashmir, huge stone boulders have been found, and they are generally arranged in a circular pattern, as you can see. that these stone boulders, these huge stone boulders, are arranged in circular pattern. Okay, they were perhaps used to mark graves or burial sites. Wherever you will be able to see these huge stone boulders, they were used to mark graves, and these stone boulders are known as megaliths. Okay, these stone boulders are known as megaliths, and these megaliths have some special features. What were the features? First, these megalith burials were underground, and megaliths were placed on the surface to mark the burial spot. Okay, as you can see, the burial is underground, but the stones are here, which marks the surface, which is on the surface, which marks that there is a burial site in that particular place. Other than that, these megaliths also served as signposts. Okay. Second, many objects have been found in these graves, including skeletons, human skeletons, pottery. As you have seen earlier in the previous module, I have shown you the potteries. Okay, the potteries, agricultural tools, as well as ornaments, weapons have been found in these particular burials. A few agricultural tools have also been found, which suggests that people used to perform agriculture. Agriculture was their occupation, as well as along with the agricultural tools, few weapons have also been found, other tools have also been found, and they were more in number if compared to the agricultural tools, which suggest that though megalith people practiced agriculture, they depended more on hunting. The graves also contain a large number of pots. In some areas, pots filled with ashes and bones have been found. Some graves contain fragments of rice and other grains. So we have got the evidence that the people cultivated grains as well. And many other objects which have been found in these graves indicate, if a grave is having a large number of objects in that particular place, that indicates that the buried person's position in the tribe. Okay, if there are lots of objects in that particular grave, then this meant that the person who has been buried over there was having a very higher position in the tribe. And the graves and their graves contain a large number of pots, ornaments, probably belong to those who were either rich or important to the society. Okay, as you can see, the weapons, the stone boulders. So those were the megaliths which have been found in this particular site, and as you have already seen, these megaliths have been found in the Deccan, South India, the Northeast and the Northwest states, especially Kashmir. As you can see here in this map, there are this map shows us the megalithic sites. Okay, so I have found this one on Google. You can search for more. Okay, so this was all for today. I call it a day. Do read the chapter carefully, and after reading the chapter, before reading the chapter, do watch the video as well. Thank you and have a nice day. I'll soon be uploading the next video related to the chapter Local Self-Government in Urban Areas of Civics. This is the next chapter which we'll be dealing with. So till then, have a nice day and do read the chapters carefully twice, thrice, or as many times as possible. Have a nice day.